Angels clear for takeoff. Sorry.
It's just habit now, right?
Just habit. It's just in there. So it's ingrained in me. You guys live vicariously through me.
Right. I mean, what were you doing last weekend anyway? Like,
yeah, nothing.
Just watching the Georgia Tennessee game, right?
Yeah, which we did. While having some cigars by the poolside, I think we had so many games going. Chomps had his phone going, I had mine. Chewy had his. We were just rotating phones off.
Okay, I got my good bad idea.
You do?
Yeah.
I mean, we get right into it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Have a buddy with the ends at the Blue Angels and not take them out, like, and not pull the connection, not trying to use your Pitmaster pass to get down there. That's
horrible, and I'm so sorry, Mom. I really am. I didn't know that you were there, and if I had known, I would have. It would have been a whole completely different experience, but I didn't find out you were there until it was too late. So
I didn't even know my parent, or like I didn't even know my mother was going. So
that's fair enough. I just don't want to get in trouble because I told
you you wouldn't have gotten in trouble.
I'm a snitch.
I would get in trouble. Like it's like why didn't you hook us up? It's like, well, I didn't know you were going to be there until you texted me like 3 hours into it.
So before I do my spiel, on the theme of getting in trouble with moms, so I brought. And we'll talk about this a little bit more. Brought my buddies down there food, of course, fed the whole platoon, whole officers, everyone, anybody. And it was his birthday the next day. So I brought him a birthday brisket for him to enjoy. And he had it, and his mom came, and it's like, oh, I heard Rasheed got you food and got this. And he's like, I can't confirm nor deny. It's like, I'm not in this.
I'm stepping to the side.
I'm stepping aside. Then Then we're all supposed to meet up later after the change. It's like, hey, I know you guys demolished all the food, but if you didn't save your mom at least a slither of brisket, we're both in trouble. And I don't care how good friends we are. I'm throwing her under the bus expeditiously the moment I see her. Right. I told him, I warned him. So he took the heat. So, I'm definitely all for throwing friends under the bus to not get in trouble with moms. I feel like it's just a way of life. That was good. So that was your good idea, bad idea.
Yeah.
Right on.
Honestly, I was just talking about me getting down there. Yeah. Not even.
That's true. No, definitely, man. It was a good time, but there'll be plenty more, and we'll get into that. But guess I'll do my spiel, yeah?
I mean, you're the one that has to do it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. How do we do this here? Let's go. Hey, guys. Rasheed Phillips here, and welcome to This Week in Barbecue. This Week in Barbecue is the barbecue-focused podcast that introduces you to both the good, the bad, and everything in between in the world of barbecue. Joining me, as always, is the amazingly talented and wonderfully trimmed bearded wonder, Mr.
Bryan Hull.
There we go. We're getting the hang of this, ladies and gentlemen. It only took like X, Y, and Z amount of tries, but he's actually happy to be here these days because there's nothing else to do because it looks pretty crummy outside. So
yeah, I can't cook.
He can't cook. He's sort of stuck in here with me. This is as good as it gets. So, brother, fill me up. Catch me up. What's going on? What has the week been like for you? What's been new?
I mean, just doing the caterings. I did last weekend. Shout out to Sam of Punk Foodie. He runs a organization called Flavor Forward, and they teamed up with the Ronald McDonald House in Atlanta. And I got a chance to cook and make 70 meals for them. So that was really cool.
Hell yeah, I love that. You were telling me that the Ronald McDonald House. It is one of those where he tries to a lot of budget, and this is him paying for it out of his own pocket.
Right, yeah.
And he makes these meals for like a center or a fridge where it just gets
Oh,
distributed.
no. So he just partners up with pop-up chefs, and we just did 70 meals fresh. And if they picked them up that night to eat right there, that's great. And then if the extra meals got thrown in the fridge for anybody to pick up later.
So did they snag your meals fresh, or were there?
I mean, like I just prepped them and left beforehand, but yeah, they were just put out so they could eat right there.
No, man, I love it.
Yeah, so just did some pulled pork and some turnip greens and some Cajun rice.
That's really good.
Yeah.
You told me you went to turnip greens because college were a little pricey.
Dude, I did not know that collard greens were 4 times the price of turnip greens. I was like, oh, that's why I ate more turnip greens as a kid.
Yeah, everything's getting costly. We just put out for our holiday orders, and the prices are what the prices are because everything's more expensive.
Yeah,
like even my Jamaican D&G ginger beer that I try to indulge in every once in a while. It went from 79 cents to $2.10.
Oh, dude. So I couldn't find heavy cream this week because I was doing a catering, and I was like, I needed to find heavy cream for mac and cheese. The last time I paid for it, it was already kind of expensive, like $3.75, $4 a quart.
Yeah.
It was like $5.43 a quart.
It's getting costly to cook. So that's why you got to go through the drive-thru, because you look at it, you're like, oh, eggs are now $5. Well, I can just go to what used to be the dollar menu. It's now like a $1.79 menu, and go get something here real quick and call it a day.
Bring back the 79-cent tacos.
Yeah, bring back bring back previous costs. It's crazy. Hey, Barbecue Pit 47, appreciate that, man. Thank you guys who are watching us here on the old Instagrammies. But today's show is a little bit different. We're going to actually have a call-in guest, Brother Jonathan Jones of Jonathan Barbecue, Smoking Hope. But the only way you're going to actually be able to hear him is if you head on over to our stories and tap the Watch Now option and watch us on YouTube, because we don't have the dongles and the doohickeys and the what have yous to connect him into the live while still seeing this rough exterior. So head on over to YouTube and check us all out there. It's going to be a good conversation.
It's not because Instagram Live doesn't make it easy for you.
No, it's not like that at all. I think we've pissed off enough people. At least let me keep the one platform I have that works with somewhat-ish.
Man, I can't wait for the metaverse.
Yeah, go Zuckerberg and all that stuff, and goggles that are $1,500, so you can just...
Wait, is that what the new Oculus cost?
Yeah, they've got a new one coming out for $1,500. They're designers for $1,500, and then they upped the price of the previous models that were $299. They raised them to $399. Same ones. They were just like, we just kind of need more money because we're burning through a couple $1 billion a quarter trying to make this thing work. So yeah, if you could, that'd be great. Which is crazy because not to get too much into finance terms here, their churn and burn is so much higher than Twitter. Twitter's right now losing $4 million a day from adverts, but Facebook's just burning through that like per hour type of thing. And that's not here there. Oh, it's in the Netherlands. Right on, brother. We've got some stories.
Yeah, because let's talk barbecue instead of churn and burn.
Yeah, I've got a whole other podcast for that. It's called the Entro podcast, which you can listen to on Spotify or anywhere that you listen to podcasts. That's ENTRO podcast. All the business stuff.
Part of the Phillips Barbecue or the Phillips Podcast Network.
There you go.
Yeah.
I do things. Let's see here. Whew.
I mean,
you want to start?
I mean, okay, we've been talking about like the festivals and stuff, and we mentioned that there's going to be a Q Barbecue Festival November 19th and 20th in Jacksonville.
Yes, we did.
I don't think that's any longer the case. They seem to have changed the date to coming 2023.
What is it called? Like Irish goodbye, where you just sort of leave without saying anything?
It's the Irish goodbye is the only goodbye.
Yeah, and that's sort of what they did. They're like, we're not really going to let you know we changed the events and the dates and the details. We're just going to...
I'm sure
they're going to remove them.
I'm sure they emailed people who bought tickets.
Maybe.
And then, if you got the email updates, I'm sure that there was an email. I just followed the website, so it was like... I was kind of always scrolling to see when they were going to announce the Pitmaster lineup, and it just changed from, hey, this is happening this year, to, hey, check out 2023, all right?
Yeah, it's like, okay, that's cool. I guess we're just making changes, which is okay. Things happen, and sometimes you have to make those changes, but I'm not going down the rabbit hole of festivals and experiences anymore because I don't want to get you triggered and have you go on
yeah, totally me. I'm so sorry.
Hey, Jerry, how you doing, brother? But
next time I'm just going to wait 2.5 years for my response.
Yes, that's a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
That's a smart thing to do.
Let a lawyer look over it and then respond 2.5 years later with all the facts.
No comment.
That's a Mick Gordon reference, and if you don't know who that is, just look it up.
Google. It's a thing. Yeah, let's get into news. There's a lot. There's all types of craziness. We've got a lot of notes on here. So let's first start with, at least I want to start with this. Can you share too much tips and tricks?
No. People say yes.
All right.
I have a lot of respect for like Snows and what Clay Cowgill does over there, and he kind of talked to me about this one time when the one time I was out there, I was talking to him about ribs. He's like, I will share exactly what I do. Mm-hmm. Because 95 to 99% of the people are not going to go do the actual work that has to like go into being able to pull off what I do.
I agree. I akin it to Emerald was on television for like north of a decade.
Yeah.
Showed you how to make every single thing on his restaurant on the menu.
I mean,
People still
the
went back
recipes are up there on foodnetwork.com.
Yeah. People still won't do it. They'll go make it because it's that ease of convenience. They like to watch, but they don't like to do. That's the thing. There's a huge difference there.
He was really good at hiding the process.
Yes. Burying the lead, if you would. He was a genius. Great guy. Still is a genius, I should say. We shouldn't speak of him in a past tense because he's still here with us. But I asked that because it piggybacks onto another topic we were talking about off camera that you have invested in. This is what I tell people because you've seen how many DMs I get per day and people are like, oh, you know, we smell like one, sometimes it works. Two, there's just a lot. Not to mention emails, but you were talking about how you invested in learning your craft, that you'd actually paid for a class at Goldee's before they were even number one.
Right, yeah. So it was before they opened the restaurant.
Yeah, this was, do you mind me saying the number on air or no?
I'd have to look it up. I mean.
But we were ballparking it.
Yeah.
It was like ballpark like 800.
For a brisket and sausage.
Class.
Yeah.
For a full day.
Yeah.
Hey,
and that was, I showed up at like 9 a.m. and I left at like, I want to say 11:30.
And that is a long.
I mean, it was a full brisket trim, full season, full cook, along with making sausage.
Yeah.
The only thing we didn't go over is like the cold smoke that day.
Do you find that $800 for one day was worth it?
Absolutely. But
if you had to do it again, would you? Knowing what it led to?
Yes. Like I think I got such a head start because of that class. Like I learned a lot of really good techniques. It's funny, is like I took the sausage part because I was just saving so much trim and I didn't know what to do with it. And then I don't think I made sausage for like 4 months after that. And I had to basically relearn everything I learned in that class and pardon my French, but fuck it up royally. And so, but luckily before I even served like the first thing of sausage at a pop-up, there was like a year learning just that craft part.
Yeah.
Before serving a single link.
No. I asked because, you know, we see we always get messages like, hey, I want to come cook with you or I want to come do this with you. And then I'm like, well, bring someone in really just slows me down, doesn't speed me up.
Right, yeah. Like asking to go do a service or a cook is honestly some of the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, it really is because, and that's why, you know, we're working on something. Can't announce it yet. I want to. Lee's looking at me like, we should say, we can't, not yet. We're working on something that will help people, but it's also the cost that's involved in a lot of these things. Like you said, you paid $800 for one day.
Right.
We've seen the cats over at Millscale and, you know, Matt Pittman and all those other guys host their classes. You know, they're like $490, $500, $600, $700. I think the last one they did was like $499, and it was for a 5-hour class. You got like a half a pound of brisket to take home with you and a couple of beers.
Yeah, I mean, I had to fly out the next morning, so I couldn't take it. But like at the time, Goldee's was giving you the brisket that you cooked.
Yeah.
So you walked away with a whole cooked brisket too, in the terms of that cost, which was kind of crazy.
That's big.
Yeah.
But are you willing? Are people? And we're going to find out. I'm going to find out very, very soon because it's something I'm working on. But we will see if people are actually willing to invest in their future and to better themselves. Because I've helped numerous cats along the way, and they've all come back. You know, just one conversation saved them months. I think even Mr. Darren Carter of Carter's Barbecue, he even mentioned on a live recently that a couple hours of chatting with me set up my head a good 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
Which it will. The right help can get you there because it alleviates so many pitfalls. It saves you so much time and so much more money too, because there's a lot of wasted money you're going to end up spending if you try to go through this blind without guidance.
Well, I would like to hear, you know, Leroy and Lewis did that Patreon over COVID. So they started a Patreon, and basically once a week they would release an instructional video, basically going through their recipes and cooking techniques and everything. And I guess it was maybe a year and a half lead time. They just started putting them out on YouTube now.
Yeah.
I wonder what because I think it was $30 a month for the Patreon, but I wonder how many, like at the peak, how many subscribers they had during. So there is there is a like desire for people to pay to learn that stuff. I wonder how Franklin's masterclass did.
I don't know. If I were some people, I'd be a little miffed because if you're in the know, you realize you can just go to PBS and watch all that stuff because it's the exact same stuff that's been on there for. It's all on PBS. Go to YouTube, go to the PBS channel. Franklin's on there, or just download the freaking app. They still loop it. I mean, even from him way back in the butcher shop selecting briskets and doing the live trims. Just
watch the 3-part YouTube series.
Yeah. It's all there. Save yourself a couple $100 on a masterclass. Just saying.
Unless
but then that's the thing of it too.
Yeah.
Pay for education, but in his case, that stuff that they were charging for was already out and done. It wasn't anything new. It was just refilmed with better lighting, better cameras, and all that. So do you pay for that, or do you just go to what he already has? That's sort of that. So you've got to make sure if you are going to offer something for people to learn, it's different and it's educational, and it's not something they can just go find of yours elsewhere.
Right.
That's the trick of it all. But no. Some questions? Yeah?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Because we do have a few questions that came in because I did a nice little post there to ask us. Boom. There it is. Oh, a couple of good ones. Hazy Growler has a joke. How many of those black and red lumberjack shirts do you own? 1, that's personal. 2, that sounds really judgmental. There sounds like there was a little bit of judgment in there. 3, 7 of them.
Yeah, look.
7. I actually have 7. My mom just got me another one for my birthday.
Hey, it's honestly just the suit and tie.
It is. That's what it is for me. It's my uniform. It even matches the hat.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, why not? It's a whole ensemble. It's my lumberjack chic look that I'm going for. It works well for me. Never know when I got to split a tree.
Not split wood, split a tree.
Split a tree. You see the size. You know what it is. This is a good one for both of us. What do you cook for your family on the holidays? Are you the main chef? I know you mentioned you and your sister in the past, but who's
not
running
anymore.
things? No, okay.
I say this aside now. Do you cook for your family on the holidays?
I do. Mom digs it. Grandma, they dig it. So it is now on me. When the Petty Sisters come to town too, they came this year and again last year around the holiday time, and I just make a spread. I made, last time I made oxtail, pastrami ribs, jerk chicken, brisket, cornbread mac and cheese, Parmesan muffins. Like I made a lot. Like it's a full, and it all gets demolished. So I cook a fair amount.
I used to do it, and then I was like, you know what? You guys just like I heard too many complaints, so I was like, you know, you guys just take care of it now.
No, I think I'm trying to sort out this year if I'm going to do lamb, because there have been requests for lamb. So I'm thinking I'm going to do like a whole lamb, and that's going to be everything just put on the show. I don't have an asado cross, but I have this other piece that I had fabricated that I'm going to go probably cook it on. Open fire, slow rotating it, but probably going to end up doing lamb again for the holidays.
Nice.
Speaking of, if you do want to put in a holiday order, both of us have our holiday orders up. I'll have the links in the bio. Check it out.
I don't. I kind of do.
You kind of do. It's if you know type of thing.
Yeah.
Did I make it to Alaska yet? No one's flown me out to Alaska. Find somebody there that wants to get down, and I'll make it to Alaska. Bruised asked, stuffing hot take. Is it cooked inside the bird or in a separate dish?
Stuffing is inside the bird. Dressing is outside.
Well, boom, there you have it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. No question.
I don't even know if that's factual. I'm just sticking with it. It sounds right.
It's one of those where it's like...
Can it be stuffing if it's not stuffed?
Yeah. That is a very least not. Yeah, that's a really, really good point.
Yeah.
Can it be stuffing if it's not stuffed?
I got a lot of feedback that people agreed with me.
Stuffing adjacent.
Hey, I got a lot of people that agreed with me. Dressing should be a year-round dish.
Yes, that's for sure. We did get a lot.
Lee even spoke up because of that.
It should be. It shouldn't just be for holidays. But then, would you get tired of it though?
No. See, you update it. You make it like it's seasonal. Like you put seasonal summer vegetables in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No,
so
I wasn't sure.
You just update it.
It's just like a bread salad.
Yeah.
A bread salad. Someone asked, do I have plans to come to England and the UK? Actually, yes, I'm in talks with a brand right now that does want to have me out there for a undetermined amount of time to do sort of like a barbecue tour. So that I'm looking forward to. That'll be interesting. Um, this is where we're going to get back to the whole point of regionality and wood species and using what's available in that area, because I'm going to be very interested to see the species that I can get there, their flavors and
They've
such.
got oak.
They've got that, but sometimes you want to get wild with it, you know. You want to
Yeah.
try different things. I want to like what is available in that area that I don't have hands on here would be how I want to do it. And is oak their same oak type of thing? Because in Jamaica, I call myself the Jamaican oak tree. We
Right.
do have oak trees there. It's just a different species, different aroma, different spread, but it's an oak tree.
Yeah.
I want to check that out there.
I mean, so like speaking of like wood types, like in Australia, they use what they call iron bark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, well, it's almost like Brazil, like cabracha charcoal, where it's called a wood axe splitter. Like it's so tough it'll split the axe,
Right.
type of thing. So those are very hard, dense. So stuff like that, very interesting. I'm very much looking forward to trying out. So I've been in London a few times. I haven't rolled smoke there, but I'd love to go and just put on a show. Let's see what we can do. We've got a few spots in mind that we want to hit.
You need a sturdy tent for the rain.
Yeah. Oh, someone said they want to see me cook with Big Mo. You should have came to Austin earlier this year. Mo and I were rolling smoke together out in Austin. Shout out to Mo. He just celebrated a birthday this week.
Happy birthday, Mo.
Happy belated, brother. Mo, I think I'll see him next weekend. I gotta reach out. Ooh. Oh yeah, that was good. Let's see what other. Actually, I want to call our buddy Jonathan. Let's call Jonathan, shall we?
So if you want to hear this, head over to the YouTube.
Yes, this is that part of the conversation that I mentioned earlier, that if you are wanting to gain the full experience, we are going to be fully utilizing YouTube right now. So I'm going to call my brother Jonathan Jones of Jonathan Barbecue. Amazing guy. And we're going to have a great conversation. So
I'm going to leave him muted until you.
right on. We're dialing it in now. But for those asking, ooh, it's ringing. You hear that too, Bryan?
I don't hear it in my headphones.
Oh, you don't hear it?
I hear it outside the headphones.
I heard it in my headphones.
I wonder if...
Well, we're going to find out if this works, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are here live with us.
Hello.
Brother Jones, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, man. How about yourself?
Hey, another day above ground, brother. No complaints.
That's right, man. What's going on, people?
Hey, say hello to, well, introduce yourself to fine people. They are, unfortunately, have to get stuck with seeing me, but they can hear you, which is much better. So let the folks know who you are.
What's going on, everybody, man? Jonathan Barbecue here on behalf of Smoke and Hope, the nonprofit that I run, located in Phoenix, Arizona, and just happy to be able to hop on here and talk barbecue, man.
No, I appreciate you taking the time, brother. I know you're out there doing earth downs and cloud pull-ups and just, becoming a swole, bearded beast out there earning that barbecue. But in between bench pressing mountains, you're out there bringing smiles, joy, and hot plates to people. So that's really amazing. That's what I absolutely love, especially with what you do with Smoke and Hope. So on the dock, what do you guys have going with Smoke and Hope for the holidays coming? I know you got some givebacks you got in mind.
Yeah, man. So you were mentioning that I had a lot going on, and actually this is probably one of the few times within the year where I get what's my version of a little bit of downtime. I'm never not working, but as far as just being able to have a little time and space to myself, that's something I've been trying to practice a lot more this year. With Smoke and Hope, we give back to the community through the love of barbecue, and we've been doing it for, I shouldn't say a long time, but we've been doing it for a few years now. And people always ask me, like, yo, how do you keep it going? How do you not run out of steam?
Yeah.
And one of the biggest lessons I've learned is just taking time for myself. So This week has been amazing. I got 4 days to not only do some clearing of my mind, going out northern Arizona, getting in the mountains, hiking,
I saw that.
but also, yeah, man, just also taking care of my body. You know what I mean? And I've been on this fitness journey with barbecue, man. I eat a lot of good food, and
Don't we all?
you know how it goes, man. You see a couple pictures and you're like, oh man, I'm looking a little different out here.
Yeah. You're like, wait, this shirt wasn't this tight last week. What's going on here?
So I've been, the last 2 months, man, I've been really dialing in, and I got this fun little thing that I do called Earn That Barbecue, and pretty much I'm just trying to inspire folks to, while we have good food that we're eating and all that, but just trying to make sure that we take care of ourselves, whether that's physically or mentally. And one of the things that I've been blessed with is I live in the state of Arizona where there's lots of sunshine and lots of ways to get out and be active. And then I also have been blessed with this nonprofit that I run that allows me to give back. So when you ask me, what I got on the docket and things like that, we definitely have a big push that we got coming up in December.
Okay.
Early December, we're going to be feeding some of our unhoused and unsheltered friends in the lower downtown Phoenix area.
Love that.
And we are extremely excited about it. We're still getting all the details and planning together, but pretty much we're going above and beyond just food. I know we are in the desert, but it gets cold out here too.
Okay.
So
I
we
imagine.
got socks drives and beanies and all that good stuff are definitely going to be a part of what we do here this year, man.
Okay, so you guys are going to be putting on a drive. Hey, how can we help, brother? What can I do to help you?
Hey, I'll be honest, man. Fully transparent, man. Just spread the word. All of our assets and things that can be shared and the information should be coming down the pipe. If not at the end of this week, well, shoot, it's already Thursday. I would say early next week is when we would have all of our stuff. And anyone that's watching or listening to this, man, look us up. Smoke and Hope, spread the word. And what we're trying to do is not about looking cool or showing off or putting a number to anything. It's just really about like getting out there and loving on people this holiday season.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can. We'll definitely put the word out there and spread the message. We did that when you were doing the Q and cuts earlier on this year, and just all the other amazing initiatives you have been doing. Beautiful. So I'm gonna make sure that happens. I've got, I got a little bit of extra change in the pocket too. So I'm gonna put a nice little box together.
Come on.
and we'll get some. You said some socks, some beanies, and some sweaters and whatnot. We might, little shameless
socks,
play.
beanies, hoodies.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
We'll make sure we'll put a nice little box together. Brian's contribution will be a sticker,
of course.
And
that's love.
and
hey, wait, no, hold on. Okay. Is very important. But you did not tell me Brother Bryan was on the call right now, man.
Man. Hey, I was just letting you guys do your thing, man. I didn't want to interject.
What is up? I'm glad I know it's not in person, but I'm glad I could meet you, man.
Yeah, no problem, dude. Good to meet you too, dude.
You see how excited he got to talk to you? No one cares about me. No one cares about me. It's all about you. I keep trying to tell you this, but no one wants to listen to me. They only care about you.
I just hide in my own little corner, dude. It's fine.
Whatever. Let me get my beard right, okay? I'm getting tired of both of y'all. That's what the problem is. I'm getting a bunch of beard bullies.
Hey, you know what? I'll give you. I shouldn't say the name. Go to the Commodore Atlanta. They'll take care of you.
I gotta say, man, between y'all are some from the outside looking in, right? Because a lot of the things that I see from what you guys do there in Georgia, man, is pretty much online and virtually. But man, I just love the energy that y'all put out with this podcast, and y'all have really become like a resource. Even for guys like for guys like myself, for beginners, for the backyard warriors, all the way up the chain, man. This is really cool. Like, you never know what you're tapping into. I think y'all are on to something a lot bigger than you can even imagine. And And I know, Brother Rasheed, you the man with the plan. So I know you got, future plans for this, but I just like being aware of like how important giving y'all flowers on
Oh man,
what
thank you.
y'all are building and creating right now, dude.
Thank you, brother. I truly appreciate that, man. You know me. I'll never say a kind word about myself, but I'm just trying to have some fun. My buddy Lee and I, we've just been trying to figure out how to make some dope stuff with dope people for years, and now finally in the driver's seat to do that. And I had to twist Bryan's arm to come spend some time with me, but
I was going to say
he's
some
getting
dope
used to me.
stuff with dope people, and then something with Bryan.
Yeah, and then something with Bryan, because he's over there flipping them ribs like that. But no, brother,
I love it, man.
I'm excited for all that you've got. I appreciate the support. We're definitely going to make sure that we spread the word out. Once you get all the assets and the digital material, let us know. We're going to pump it on all the channels, push it to the
Dope, man.
cast, make sure people know, and we're going to put a box together as well so that people out there are comfortable, because we want to help support you. A rising tide. Something I always tell you, and if we can all move together, it's going to be a wonderful thing, the change that we can make.
Yeah, man, that's what it's all about, and just just regular everyday folks, man, trying to put their energy. There's a lot going on right now.
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I mean?
Yes, sir.
To get caught up in the weeds on stuff, but just putting some of our positive energy into the right places. You know what I'm saying? And we got a lot of big decisions coming up and coming down the pipeline. But with that being said, man, I just want to encourage folks to, roll how you're gonna roll, and however that stuff plays out, that's how it's gonna play out. But also try to find a creative solution to give back to your communities as well, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, whenever I have you on the line, I got to have you end our conversation the way you end yours. So if you do me the honors and favor of closing out our call the way you always close out your lives, I'd much appreciate it, brother.
I love it. Well, yeah, man. Y'all know how I like to do it, man. If it's your grill, it's your rules.
Yes, sir.
And if it's your food, it's your rules. And as always, it's done when it's done. I appreciate y'all, man. Peace and love.
Peace and love, brother. Thank you
Peace
for
and
calling
love,
in, my
dude.
man.
I love that outro.
I love it too. That's why I have him say it whenever I got him on the line.
Oh, okay, now I got a funny story. So, like, anytime we get together for a family get together with my mom's husband and his family, there's a rule. It's if someone's cooking and they're making grits or making whatever, if someone comes in and stirs the grits, they're now that person's responsibility. Like, it's like, you checked on the grits? Oh, they're yours now.
That's yours now. If it doesn't go the way, you should have just stayed out of my kitchen. Don't touch my stuff. Don't touch my stuff. There's a reason why. Have you ever seen the movie Shooter with Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah.
How at the end of the scene, at the end of the movie, he pulls a trigger and the gun just won't fire.
Right.
And he goes, before I leave my house, every time I leave the house, I switch all my firing pins out. So only I know what's what. That's how with my seasoning. You'll come to my house and you'll see something that says garlic salt. It's absolutely not garlic salt.
Right.
You'll see a bottle that says black pepper. Absolutely not black pepper. But I know what's in there. So don't go around touching my stuff, because I'll know that. But that's just me. little power control. Who knows? But that's the thing. Someone asked a question earlier, and I want to make sure that I don't skip over. His name is Aaron Lawrence. Thank you for inspiring me to start cooking barbecue. That was really cool. Thank you, man. And someone asked, are we discussing holiday recipes yet? Yeah, we can roll right into that. And then it was, who inspires you? Which barbecue chefs inspire you, Bryan?
I mean,
Aside from me, of course.
aside from you, I mean, like there's a lot of food that I haven't got to try that they're like at the top of my list. So
Top three.
burnt bean, koi, distant relatives.
Okay.
Like I just like all the
Burnt
things
bean,
that those guys are doing.
Hefe, Robert Sierra was out there.
Yeah,
with me
yeah.
This past weekend, yeah.
They're bringing their own unique, vision and experience to barbecue, and they're not watering it down. I have
This is good. I
Yeah,
had one I was out there.
I have other friends like that aren't doing barbecue like in the Atlanta pop-up community, and that like I find them very inspiring. So
Shout out to Candy and everybody.
yeah, Gabriel Barangay.
Yeah.
like a lot of the people that are doing their traditional cuisines and not watering it down for the white palate.
I think.
I mean, I'm just gonna call it. I'm just gonna call it.
You can say that. You can say that. I
Yeah.
can't because
No.
I just saw a YouTube bumper roll that says "white racism is alive." I was like, what?
No. I mean, look, man.
Racism against white people? That was the whole ad. I was like, I had to sit and watch intensely. I was like, I didn't know this was a thing. Tell me more.
No, I mean, yeah, where they're cooking the food that they grew up eating.
Yeah.
And yeah, like Candy. I mean, Candy goes through this all the time. Shout out to Candy Home. She does Soup Belly.
Candy.
Like people were like, hey, can you change something, or can you, this is too spicy or whatever. It's like, it's called cold chili noodles. It's gonna be spicy. There's gonna be a kick to it.
Exactly.
And like, it's like, I can't, they're like, what's in my dumpling? I can't just open them up and take stuff out. Like, it's served the way it's served because that's how I prepared it.
Yeah.
And like her whole mindset I like is there's a lot of places on Buford Highway that you can go to and get kick-ass dumplings.
Yes.
Her thing is, I'm taking it to the people that wouldn't go out of their way to go to Buford Highway. That's why I do the breweries and stuff that she does. So like she's bringing it to the people and not watering it down, and then people are accepting of it.
Yeah. And hats off to her because I did not have the balls to do that at first because I was so. And mind you, this is coming from a cat who never showed his face for the first 3 years of running the business. But the things I grew up on, not everyone gets down on. I grew up on chicken feet and chicken feet soup and roasted and cute like that. A lot of people would be thrown off by that. A lot of people would be thrown off by certain cuts of lamb and other meats, lengua, beef tongue, all that jazz. So I just slowly started to introduce it piece by piece, and I just said one day, YOLO, this is what I get down with. If you like it, cool. If not, oh well. And I found an audience that connected with it, especially during the pandemic, that first year in 2020, that they hadn't had these dishes in so long, that it made them reminisce at home. I remember this Jamaican couple had came up and were like, a friend of ours got stew peas from you last week and just raved, so they came and got it with their little girl. And they were like, they haven't been home in so long, and it smelled like it looked like it had that flavor. I was like, yeah, because that's what I grew up on. I'm not going to change any aspect of it because the moment I do, it's not stew peas anymore.
Okay, so I'm going to leave them anonymous, but someone told me that they went to one of your last couple pop-ups, and they said they're waiting for you to make it again, but they said the best thing you've ever made was that oxtail and rice and peas. and that's a white dude.
I serve a lot of white guys, so I have no idea which one it could be.
Exactly. I'm going to keep it anonymous, but they're like, but
it's not Ted, is it?
No, it's not Ted.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not
because Ted could call. Ted can get it whenever he wants.
Yeah. But I think that dish more so than like the brisket or stuff. That's more you.
The weird thing is, and it's not a toot your own horn thing, and I only say this because at least seeing the hours in practice, like I can roll brisket in my sleep.
Right.
The challenging dishes for me are my cultural dishes because there's such so many layers and depths of flavor and stages and what you can do it like. And this can roll into what we were talking about because we were talking about what is, Chin, what's happening, man? We were talking about what's the difference between regional cooking and traditional cooking. For me, regional here in the States, being an islander, is, hey, I bought a packet of Lowry's jerk rub seasoning. I rubbed it on some chicken, put it in the oven. I've got jerk chicken. Ish. Sort of. It's labeled jerk, but
right.
Because jerk isn't necessarily a flavor, it's an actual cooking technique. It's a process. It's like sous vide and all that. Traditional cooking of it, you're working that bird, you're making a nice fresh paste out of it with your ginger, your green onion, your scallion, all those other tits and bits. And it's being slowly cooked at first over pimento wood and leaves and this night. Then you finish it off hard sear, almost like a reverse sear for chicken. Then it's just chopped up, hit with a little bit of sauce, served with 2 slices of cocoa bread and some rice and peas and maybe some steamed cabbage, That's the traditional version of it, and that's more intensive. I could knock out jerk chicken every week if I was just slapping it with some store-bought stuff, popped it in the oven, roast it, and sell it. No, it doesn't taste that way. That's why the method I use for this traditional When you come to the pop-up, you're getting it as close as you can get without a passport.
Right, yeah, because you've said that you can't get the exact type of wood that you need.
No, I can't. So that is what more than anything hinders me. So I've got to make slight adjustments using the ones that are available.
I mean, okay, so I'm gonna go off on a little tangent.
Hey, that's literally what the show's about, tangents.
And stop me if I'm wrong. So,
Stop.
or if I say anything wrong. Oh, so we're talking about we talked about this before the show, but traditional versus regionality.
Yeah.
So Bryan Furman, like let's
See, you can't just say Bryan Furman, the reigning and forever king of Georgia barbecue. Bryan Furman. It's a whole thing. It's like a Tribe Called Quest. You got to say it all at one time.
Yeah, but bringing South Carolina tradition, and I'm gonna this is where I'm gonna go off on. So he serves Brunswick stew on his menu.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a regional thing for Georgia.
Yes.
He also serves hash and rice.
Yes.
And I'm just gonna say, if you don't get Bryan Furman's food and get hash and rice, you are fucking up.
And his mama's griddle cakes.
Right, and his mom's griddle cakes. You were messing up royally.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is like he's just not making hash and rice. If he just had hash and rice and made it with like pork butt or whatever, that would be regional cooking. He's taking the extra step and doing it traditionally and using the whole pig head.
Yep.
What's the saying?
Rooted to the tutor.
Yeah, there you go.
Everything in between, man. You got to use it all. There's no waste here. There's no game. And man, Bryan is just a beast. Like I've had the honor and privilege of rolling smoke beside him and lending hands and working his pits, and the watching him move around his rigs is, at least for me, is comparable to watching a conductor lead an orchestra. Like, this man knows what's going on, knows what's moving. He's just on it, and he's just doing such wonderful things for the culture and for the community and for the process that, yeah, Bryan's on a whole different level by himself. And talk about a mind for barbecue. They say, like, what is it? Like LeBron, Kobe, and all the greats, they have court vision. Bryan's got
Basketball
Q vision.
IQ.
He's got that Q vision. He just knows and sees and just moves different, hands down. If you have the ability and chance to grab his food, snag it, load up on those ribs because they go quick. I know because I buy them. All right, they go really quick. He's
that peach mustard sauce.
It is, and he had his deal with Heinz with that for a bit.
One of the best barbecue sauces in the country.
Yeah, definitely. We had some other points that I should just quick short point. Got to hang out with my buddies, the Blue Angels.
Yeah, how was that?
It was bittersweet. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm in my feels a little bit. I was talking to the guys earlier. Shout out to Chomps, Whiskers, Chewy, Boss, the whole crew. Because this is a rotation year, so guys may check the pin. These are the two solos, 5 and 6. So Chewy and Whiskers. It's a rotation year, so that means a lot of the guys and gals, because there are female angels, are rotating out this year. Their last show is this weekend, and it was just great. Like, I got to celebrate Chewy's birthday with him, with the whole team. We smoked a nice cigar, had some good bourbon, just talked with everyone's aspirations, everyone's dreams, where they're going. And it's crazy, like, the connections you make. Fingers crossed, you may see your buddy on the White House lawn rolling smoke, first pitmaster on the White House doing a barbecue.
Are you doing it during the turkey pardon?
No,
You're not going to pardon that turkey?
I'm not talking. No, that turkey's getting two to the back of the head.
It's too expensive to pardon the turkey this
we
year.
got all turkeys matter right now, and sir, I gotta put you on. No, but they're all going to do amazing things. Some are going to presidential detail. Some are heading over to Japan. Shout out to Boss flying over there. Some are going to be instructors. They're all doing wonderful things. But it was bittersweet because the photos that we had together are the last batch of photos I'll have with those men and women in uniform at that moment. And again, like when you guys see another, standing 8 photo, it'll be with different angels. Still love and care for them all, but it was just a bit in the fields. That was a group I went up on my flights with. Groups I've fed and just gotten to know over my time with them. So very honored to have had that ability. I wish I could see them off on their farewell this year, but I can't, which made this last weekend with them so much more important and memorable for me. But yeah, they're getting ready, and I'm wishing them all well and safe flights because they have Nicole coming. I think Nicole is hitting like East Florida and over in Pensacola, so they'll get a brush of it, you know. So hoping that everything goes well for them. But it was a good time. It was a good time overall. Wonderful laughs, great shows. I love watching them show off. I loved going to an event and no one caring who I am and just seeing everyone fawn over them because I joined all the lines like everyone else, got my stuff signed just like everyone else, you know, show them their respect. But amazing group of men and women. And if you have the opportunity to, you don't have to be on the scale that I'm doing because we've got a full tour. I guess I should mention that, yeah? Yeah, we should probably mention that. So we've got a full tour that we're doing. This was sort of the kickoff for it. So rolling out next year, we're going to be visiting numerous bases with them in other branches of the military. Just surprising and delights, my Trailblazers tour, my nod, my way of giving back. It's just me. I wanted to do it. I still got some security clearance, so we're just going to do it. We're going to have some fun with it. And I'm going to get to see a lot of other angels and officers and military personnel next year at the Festival of Flight because we're going to be feeding and hosting that next year for them too. And you may not have to swing for the fences and do this. You can do the exact same thing in your local community. Go feed your local fire department. When was the last time you just say, oh, pork butts are on sale? Okay, let me pick up 2 more, roll smoke on those, make some sides, drop it off at your local fire department or your local police department or your local ER nurse. That was one thing we did during COVID a lot. We were feeding numerous fire departments, numerous police stations, so many ER trauma nurses. I've got all the cards and stuff. It was great, but you can still make a very big impact in your community and with just a hot meal. So think about it, guys. You know, it'd be nice. Nice little give back. Questions, because I was too emotional and too deep, and I don't.
Oh no, you needed to get it out though.
Had to. Better than your crazy tirades that you go on.
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. This one came from, we just mentioned them earlier. Pink's Barbecue. Key to smoking a good brisket. Oh, pardon me. Key to smoking a good turkey.
Oh wait, that's very different.
Yeah. Sorry, I read it wrong. It was definitely turkey.
Definitely brine it.
Okay. There's a product in there, Bryan's Brine.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sell water and sugar. Enjoy.
Hey, it's better than selling turtle rub.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely do a brine. Like, what's your go-to brine?
I think it's on the website, so I don't mind saying that out loud. I use a lot of fresh aromatics, a lot of stems. That's why, I've got an obscene amount. You've seen my rosemary. I use a lot of rosemary stems in the brine, garlic, all those odds and ends from when you're prepping other stuff. That's what I use in brines. Salt, some light sugars. One thing that gets slept on that people really need to get into, I use star anise.
Dude, star anise is just use more star anise.
Yeah, I wish more.
Chinese 5-spice by Vietnamese 5-spice because there's more star anise.
Yeah, but we're not knocking Chinese 5-spice because I get down with Chinese 5-spice. I use it for roasted pork dish that I make.
Yeah, but Vietnamese 5-spice is better.
No, not at all.
No, like oranges or anything, any fruits?
I save the citrus, so what I do is I make a compound butter, and this is legitimate. Just go to RasheedPhillips.com and go to the recipe section under turkey. You'll see the full detailed write-up. But I make a compound butter with orange juice, lemon zest, garlic, green onion shallots, other accoutrements. I freeze the butter, slice it thin, and then I tuck it under the skin, lift the skin, basically strip it all down, almost like you're doing a Peking duck. And I line that with the frozen bits because I don't baste. I don't baste my turkeys. I let the butter do its thing.
By orange juice, you mean cut an orange in half and manhandle it, not
don't put
not simply orange.
Exactly, which is why I'm telling people go to the site. So the whole process is in there. But I use a little bit of orange juice in there. And just let it cook with that as it melts down.
You don't use Florida's Best?
Tropicana.
What's the one that used to be the frozen ones?
Minute Maid.
Minute Maid. Just add water and shake the hell out of it.
Pulp or no pulp?
No pulp. Not for the
You gotta have pulp.
not for the Bryans and the compound.
I know.
but,
No, I'm talking about just in general.
in regular pulp, you got to. That's where the good stuff is.
Yeah, exactly. I bet people are freaking out over the pulp thing.
We'll see. We'll hear about it. That's for sure. Probably me more than you, but we'll see. I like this one. This is a pricing one. I always like the business ones. I never know why. Of course, one of the petty sisters had a smart remark, but I'm not. Oh, she threatened me the other day, saying, "Well, they all threaten me every day, so that's nothing. I should be a little."
I was
going to
say, like, she threatened. It's a Tuesday, and I got my normal threat.
Yeah, the head leader, the shortest one, threatened that she was going to email you about, trying to have us do like a crock pot recipes and just being petty, because that's what she is.
I'm waiting on the email.
I told her
I'm
the
waiting on the
email was full.
message.
Told her the email was full, and it was a bot, and I blocked her as spam. The other one got on to me. She's like, "Hey, hook me up with the cute officer." I was like, "No, he eats meat. You eat rice cakes. We're not doing that either." So they're all this there. This is their piece I get. I like this. 313 and Smoke asked, "How do you determine your pricing? I've been asked to smoke three-bone rib roasts."
I mean, the rule of thumb is it should be 3 times the ingredient cost.
Typically,
Yeah.
that is that's not a bad rule of thumb.
It is not what I charge for brisket. Like, I wish I could charge that for brisket and beef ribs.
Yeah, it would be nice.
And I definitely don't charge that for sausage. Let's just say Joe Yim is right. Sausage should cost $100 a pound.
It should, for an amount that goes into it. I think for this one, how would I go about pricing 3 bones? It's also like the skill level, and can you really knock it out? And are they preheat? Is it pickup? Is it hot? One event. What is it? Dan put out 3 times the yielded cost, which is that rule. I always go by whatever number feels uncomfortable, put 25% on it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot that's going to go into it that's never going to be seen.
I mean, how much pepper are you going to use? Dude, I just bought some pepper. 5 pounds costs $40.
Buy in bulk, and that's part of it too. So if you've got to buy, one, do you already have the ingredients for the dish?
Yeah.
2, if you don't and you're starting from a baseline of scratch, what you get, is that going to be usable for other items? You're just buying it solely for that. Do you have everything you need to cook it? Do you have everything you need to transport it? You're not just going to hand them a bare rib, prime rib, so that's got to be vacuum sealed, wrapped, put in something. Like, there's a lot of those costs beyond just what the meat itself costs.
Are you using fresh herbs? Are you getting those fresh herbs from a grocery store or a farmer's market?
Yeah.
Dude, they're like it's insane the difference between how much dill you get from going to a Kroger and a Publix to like going to a farmer's market and getting like a whole bunch of dill.
Bushel, yeah.
Yeah, for honestly cheaper than that little box you get.
And that's part of it. And I can't wait, but I think we're going to release the trailer for the $20 series next week, so people can understand like the cost of these things. So for those of you who are aware, I am doing a $20 series where it is legitimately $20. The entire meal, all the ingredients down to the salt has to fall within the $20 price range in order to prepare the meal.
By the way, I totally watched one of those videos you were talking about where he's like, "Hey, can you make this for $30?" And he's like, he gets all these ingredients, doesn't show you anything, and then he gets to his house, he's like, and then you add the saffron and this other stuff. It's like,
was it the paella one?
It wasn't a paella. It was something different, I think.
The guy didn't go into the ocean to catch a fish, did he?
No.
Okay,
no.
yeah.
Well, he did that in the paella video?
Yeah, he went crazy.
Yeah, because everybody has access to that.
Yeah, easily, just right in the backyard. Just threw a line out. Just grab that. No, that was ridiculous. I do want to ask a fun question, because Lee, Corey, and I, we had a wild experience. What has been an unforgettable, not in the great way, dining out experience that you've had at an establishment?
I mean, we had laughs.
Oh, we had laughs.
I mean,
We laughed, we cried, we got upset. We just went through a gamut of, just joking, having fun. She's like, "No, we cleared all the orders." Like, that can't be possible because we still haven't gotten food. Manager goes, we don't hear anything back. 30 minutes later, comes out with food like, "Here you guys go, enjoy." And Lee and I look at each other like, enjoy what? She's like, oh, isn't this your order? I was like, even if you put them together, it's still wrong. It was just so bad.
Well, I will say on that part, it was an establishment that had BOGO wings.
Which is true. Which doesn't make it better.
Okay.
Which doesn't make it better, because if you do have BOGOs on one day a week, you know the one thing you should be doing all day is dropping that particular item.
How do you?
Yeah, the point was that he was.
They have too many flavors. That's all I'll say.
They have too many flavors if they can ever get it right.
Yeah.
But it was just an hilarious experience because we were just, they're so confused, like playing a game of who got our food, who's doing what. Like at one point we think the table behind us almost died and ditched, but then they came back, I guess, and had to pay because they'd forgot something, so they sort of got caught.
Okay.
It was a whole crazy fiasco. It was just, we had laughs. Oh, and then I had a drink that just tasted like watered down, horrible peroxide. I was like, what is this? I'm going to die if I finish this.
I can attest that they're not any better on to-go orders. So a couple.
I'm not going back.
All right, no. A couple weeks ago, I'm down visiting some friends in Douglasville, and we go. It's the Georgia-Florida game.
Yeah.
Like, let's order some stuff. And we go, and he walks in at the same time as this other guy, and they're both standing at the front, and like 8 people walk by, like employees looking at them, like don't know what to do. Then finally someone comes up and asks, hey, have you been helped yet? And he goes, no, I'm here to pick up a to-go order. And the other guy's just trying to get a seat. So, and the other guy walked in before him.
Oh, gosh.
So the guy starts going to provide his to-go order. And then like a manager comes along and says, hey, have you asked have you helped that other guy yet? And he goes, no. He's like, well, you should help that other guy. So they stop doing the to-go order, go help the other person and sit them down, and then someone else, and then they just leave. And so he has to come back. He's like, oh, yeah, the manager will get your to-go order now. And they're like not looking and just throwing stuff in the bag.
Oh,
and then, of course, they tie it up so you can't look to see if anything's right. But it's the exact same establishment, just another location.
Yeah, at least they're consistently bad across the board,
Right.
and that's what matters: consistency. No, it was just a good time around.
You know it's bad if it's less than 20 people in this economy and it's BOGO.
Yeah. So we've got 2 things we got to chat about before we wrap up here.
Okay.
One, we've got to announce a winner of this guy right here. And secondly, we started this, and we may start it now, and I'd like to see what people's responses are, and we can pick it up on the next one. Barbecue apprenticeships.
Yeah, okay.
Should that be brought back as more of a thing, or no?
All right. I take it. There's 2 ways you can go about it. If you have the means, are you talking about apprenticeship or you're working for free?
What's the difference?
The old school stodging.
Well, technically, a true apprenticeship, they're paying you to be around you.
Right. Yeah. That's.
But I'm not talking about in that sense. I'm talking about in just like, hey, because we get all the time. Hey, if you want to come here, what are you bringing that doesn't slow me down?
Right, but at the same time, like, that's kind of fucking toxic.
But
I know, but
I'll preface this by saying, before I had this glamorous life of sweating over
right
giant flames, I did photography. Lee and I both did. We both apprenticed under 2 different people. My mentor at the time that I was apprenticing under, I couldn't even touch a lens or a body. I was legit sweeping floors in the studio and pulling up gaffing tape and wrapping cables. Like, I didn't touch anything. It was a true apprenticeship, like learning from the bottom up. And I wasn't getting paid. I was making time to do it. And if it was something else conflicted, and that was it. It was like, hey, 1 late, 1 miss, the next guy in line gets your spot.
I know, but is that healthy?
I think it is.
This
was in our lifeline. This was like, my college years. I personally got a lot from it because watching, though I thought I was buffing floors and all that, you're getting Jedi, you're getting Mr. Miyagi, you're seeing the operations of what it takes to run a facility because this part is easy. It's all that other stuff.
I
That's
mean,
hard.
okay, I'm saying this as someone who went and staged at a place,
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
paid by the hour, and I wasn't happy enough with my work that I turned down the money.
But that's because you're cut different.
Right, but I also have the privilege to be able to do that and take the time where I don't have to worry about it. I don't know if everybody has that opportunity. Like there's a lot of people that would love to do this who can't just show up and work hours for free. Like I don't. That's a lot of stuff that happened in French kitchens, like where you would go show up and you wouldn't get paid, and it's called staging.
Yeah, yeah.
And you would learn. And I've gone and staged at places, and I had the financial means to do so. I didn't have to have that money. I don't know if it's healthy or right to require that.
If someone were to say, hey, Sheed, or if I were to say I'm going to accept an apprentice or whatever, I'm not paying them.
Right.
I'm not. I'm going to be perfectly honest, because if anything, you're costing me my most valuable asset, which is time and my bandwidth.
Right.
Because every time I stop to tell you something, that's one thing that's not getting done. There's a wonderful Mr. Beast interview that he did with Andrew Schultz, and Andrew Schultz asked him, like, are you just really tight with your time? Do you even watch TV and this and that? He's like, I have moments where I watch TV, I'll see some shows, but I also know that I can, on average, if I'm going full out, that I can make, I think he said his time was like $25,000 an hour.
That's insane.
So knowing that I make $25,000 an hour, me going to do this and this will cost me money when I can just sit there and do that. We've had talks before where I'll just not do things because I'm like, I will make more money sitting here than I will if I go do that thing for whatever it may be. So to have someone in and you want to guide them and you're not going to half-ass it. Shout out to the bald guy. We miss him dearly. He didn't half-ass anything with us. You know, it was very much learn, go, 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 go. It's like, if that all you got, like push. But now being in that role, if you're wanting this information, it's going to come at a cost. I'm not going to charge you, but you can't slow me down. It's keep up or get left behind.
What's your buy-in? Like,
Yeah.
how committed are you?
Yeah.
Right.
When I say, hey, we've got a 4 a.m. Shoot, and we got to be up at, 1:30, out the door at 2. Why the shoot's at 4? Because we've got to go set this up. We got to go scout. We got to make sure all this is set, or we've got to cook, or we've got an event. All right, let's go. It's work. It is a lot of work. If people think it's glamour and glitz, but if you're wanting this, there's so many aspects of it. You're going to learn more than just, here's how you trim a brisket. I can go toss you a pamphlet on how to trim a brisket, but let me show you all the intricate details of what it takes.
Right.
And you have to be able to answer the question, what do you want? Is this a hobby or is this a career?
Right.
Because the routes are very, very different, and the level of commitment is very, very different. If it's a career, you need to treat this like you're practicing for the playoffs. And
Playoffs?
Yeah.
Olympics.
Olympics.
Sorry. No one got my reference.
No, I didn't get your reference.
You got it right.
Is that a
Playoffs?
Brother TJ, how you doing, man? Love you, brother.
It's a Jim Morris Sr. from the Colts. He got asked about playoffs, and their team was so crappy, and he just goes, "Playoffs? We can talk about playoffs."
No. But that's my thing. Like, if you want to, I definitely believe apprenticeships should be brought back and be more prevalent, especially in our community, and I say community just in the barbecue world, in the culinary space, because it is a must. But I don't see it happening because I think everyone just wants to get, I just want 5 minutes of your time or this and I was like, no, I don't have 5 minutes to give you 5 minutes of my time. You're either all the way in or you're out.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, the full-on unpaid apprenticeship.
How bad do you want it? If before I got into this,
yeah,
and before I had the contacts, before I had the networks,
right.
If Rodney, if Mo, if Pops, if any of them had said, hey, I got a slot, you can help out, you can come to the shop, you're my right-hand man, there's no money in it, and you got to get your way here, I'm dropping everything.
Right,
because I have to believe that I can do more with what they'll give me to get ahead to make up the difference. And I understand sometimes people aren't in that position to make that choice, but that's where the hard part is. And I can. One of the most pivotal moments that changed my life was a conversation with B years and years and years ago. Now, at that moment, I was leading the security division for Apple here in the Southeast. And I had a big old meeting I had to be a part of. And he hit me up. He's like, hey, I'm going to be at the shop. I got so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so here that I want to chat with you. I'm going to be here too. Can you make it up? I had a very career defining meeting and set and presentation to be. You know what I did? I unplugged that computer, put on my shoes, and went to B's. That night, putting everything else on the line changed my entire life. And you have to be willing to do that.
I know, but you had the financial means to do that, right?
Financial or not,
Right.
it's not a dough.
I'm talking about the guy who's willing to do it, but he's got a family to feed. He's got things to worry about. And he can't just drop it because there might not be food on the table for his kids the next day if he drops it. I think people are willing to do it, but I think the idea of an unpaid internship or an unpaid apprenticeship is a little antiquated. Now, you know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, come work with me for a couple days. Let's see if you got it. You got it. Okay, I see potential in this person. I know they're going to be here. I know they're going to be reliable. I'm not going to make them. I'm not going to yes, there's knowledge, but I'm also not going to deprive them of making money, being able to put food on the table at the same time. I didn't when I went out to Texas and went and did staging, it's because I had the means to do so. I didn't have to worry about the next thing. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does, but I've never been paid for any of my apprenticeships.
Right.
Photography, video, culinary, I've never been paid for any of my apprenticeships. I remember working on the design team for the Falcons when they revamped the logo. I was part of that team that helped with the palette and color selection and the outline. Didn't get paid for that.
I know, but I'm
But I know what you're saying, but I think the issue is that's
a multi-million-dollar corporation. They're like, oh, you help with this? Fuck you.
No, but
sorry. I've cussed the most I've ever cussed on this. Yeah,
I just bring out the worst in you.
I mean, that's kind of horseshit.
No, I get it, but you have to look at it in the sense of, and you can't look at it that negative stuff. It's like what I'm getting from here, I will flip and turn, because for me, if I'm doing my job right. You'll realize and pick up on things really quickly to where you're like, though I'm not getting paid from him here, I've learned enough. I can just do this on the side. Now, will you be rested to do that? That's on you. Because I'm going to require X, Y, and Z if you're going to do this. And the moment you say you can't, all right, bye, don't come back. But if I'm doing my job right, you won't need me to pay you. You'd have learned already really, really quickly how you can make for yourself. It's teach a man to fish type of thing. And
Investment in yourself.
Yeah, and it does. There's always going to be something. The stars are never going to align. There's always going to be a mouth to feed or a job on the line or something here. It's always going to be. But that, to me, is what separates the top 10% and the 1%. There's a lot of amazing top 10% basketball players, killer athletes. You couldn't get a shot off on them. On their worst day. Now, the 1% of those top percenters are the ones that don't care. They risk it all because there's a difference, and I believe this wholeheartedly. There's a difference between playing to win and playing not to lose.
Oh, okay.
And that's what that top percent understands.
You know White Mamba, right?
What?
No. This is Brian Scalappini.
Yeah.
That's his real nickname.
Yeah.
And, he was an NBA player, but he was kind of a bench guy. Mm-hmm. He goes to show up at any YMCA, and he's 40 plus years old, and a D3 guy will come up and start playing him, and he will smoke them.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Top 10%.
yeah, because the amount of people that got into the NBA that are at that level compared to the amount of people that played in college is insane.
Mm-hmm.
I just
but if you take White Mamba against the top 10%. Or the top 1% of the 10%, he quickly becomes the guy at the rec league.
Right. Oh, yeah.
there's because people watch. Oh, I can score on LeBron. He would never touch the ball.
Did you watch that Dream Team documentary?
Not yet.
Okay.
Remember, I've got.
Right. Yeah. No. I like. There was a scene where there's like everybody's showing up overnight from partying. It's like 4 or 5 a.m. And they get there and Kobe's walking to the gym. And they're like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "I'm going to work."
Yeah, I follow that mentality. I'm not doing this stuff to be in the top 10%.
Right.
I'm doing this stuff to be in the 1% of the top 10%.
Right.
Like I'm not. This is fun. This is great, but I'm working this as much as possible. I never want anyone to say, "Hey, Sheed, I saw you relaxing." When? When was this? Let me know, because I was wrong. But I just believe there, and I say it because I don't know what it's been. There's just been a huge uptick in people wanting to, I want to come learn. That doesn't do anything for me.
Right. Yeah. Like anybody who wants to come was like, "I want to come hang out while you cook." It's
yeah,
like,
we don't hang out. Lee will tell you, and we're the same, especially when our roles switch. So when we're out,
Yeah.
he's in charge. I have to go be me and go do my thing. But I also have to make sure they won't stop. They won't stop unless I stop, and I won't stop. So I'm like, "Hey guys, go eat. We're good. Just go. We've been going at it 8, 9, 10 hours. Just go, like break." But Lee will always watch. Like, let me make sure he actually stops too. Like there's a thing, because I told you, there's only one rule here. If I'm working, you're working. And if you're working, I'm working to make sure you're better.
Right.
That's it. That's all it is. So I definitely think, and next week we'll be around, the greats, and I want to get their perspective on it. Hey, Rodney, Sam, all you guys, do you think barbecue apprenticeships should come back? And what does it look like if you were to run one yourself?
Right.
I think that's a good question to end on.
All right.
Not a bad one.
We'll agree to disagree.
We'll agree to disagree. You still flipping ribs and you're still here, Applications welcome.
Applications welcome.
I like that one.
Hey, but it's an apprenticeship.
Exactly. just spreading the madness around. We will announce the winner in a post, so stay tuned. And
All right, because I got to bring my my stickers.
we do. We don't have the final piece of this whole giveaway, which is undoubtedly the stickers. We got to get this
The
thing
most
out
important
here
part.
and the cap. But let's wrap this up. So once again, guys, I'm Rasheed Phillips, and this has been This Week in Barbecue, the barbecue-focused podcast that brings you both the good, the bad, and different, and even some flipped ribs, brought to you by my amazing co-host, Mr.
Bryan Hull.
Hey. And as always, guys, tell a friend to tell 2 friends, and be good to one another. Take care.